Heartbreak. Screw it back to life in 30 days. Don't cry but laugh again. Heartbreak is an emotion that most people have to go through at least once in their lives. It is an experience that can turn your life upside down in an instant. In a world where we are often trained to control our emotions and not show our vulnerability, the pain of heartbreak can be particularly hard to bear. This book is for anyone who is currently in the middle of this difficult phase, who is looking for a way to ease the pain and find a new direction. When a relationship ends, it is not just the connection to another person that ends, but also a multitude of hopes, dreams and expectations that were linked to that relationship. The plans for the future together, the beautiful memories of the past. All of this suddenly becomes a source of pain, sadness and sometimes anger. Heartbreak is more than just a broken heart. It is the loss of something that was once very important. In the coming chapters, you will learn how to deal with this pain using various strategies and methods. The next 30 days are designed to help you leave your heartbreak behind you, step by step. It's not about repressing the pain or pretending nothing happened. On the contrary, it's about facing the pain, understanding it, and finally letting it go. In the first few days, you will be dealing with your feelings intensely. It is important that you take the time to process your emotions. You will learn how to acknowledge your pain without letting it overwhelm you. This phase is crucial because it lays the foundation for your healing. In the days that follow, you will begin to focus on your own well-being. You will learn strategies for redesigning your daily routine to create space for healing. It will be about questioning old habits and establishing new routines that are good for you. There is a particular focus on self-care. Something that is often neglected when you are in a relationship or when heartbreak is too strong. Little by little, you will start to look to the future. In the second half of the 30 days, you will focus on redesigning your life and pursuing your own wishes and goals. It's about finding out what you really want and how you can achieve these goals. You will learn to heal old wounds while making room for new experiences and encounters. At the end of the 30 days, you will not only have left the heartbreak behind you, but you will also have gained a new perspective on yourself. You will realize that heartbreak, as painful as it may be, is also an opportunity, a chance to get to know yourself better, to grow and to shape your life according to your own ideas. This book is intended to be your companion on this journey. There is no set roadmap that works for everyone, and there is no right way to overcome heartbreak. But there are tools and techniques that can help you find your own path. Take the time you need and be patient with yourself. Every step you take brings you closer to a life free of heartbreak and to a new chapter full of possibilities. Why heartbreak is so painful? Heartbreak is not just an emotional experience. It is also physical and can have profound effects on the body and mind. To understand why heartbreak is so painful, we need to take a closer look at the nature of romantic love and the way our brains respond to the loss of a loved one. Romantic love is one of the strongest bonds we can experience as humans. Scientists have found that the feeling of love acts in the brain similarly to an addiction. When we are in love, our brain releases a number of chemicals, including dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These chemicals create feelings of happiness and a deep sense of connection. They are also responsible for making us crave the closeness of the loved one and for making us feel happy and fulfilled in his or her presence. When a relationship ends, this chemical reaction is abruptly interrupted. The brain, which has become accustomed to regular doses of these feel-good chemicals, goes into a kind of withdrawal. The loss of a partner causes the brain to stop secreting these chemicals in the same amounts, leading to feelings of emptiness and withdrawal. This condition is in many ways similar to what people experience when trying to kick a substance addiction. In addition, our brain is particularly sensitive to negative emotions during times of heartbreak. Memories of the lost relationship are played over and over in our heads, and the pain is intensified by constantly ruminating and analyzing the past. This mental repetition of the loss can lead to depression, anxiety, and a deep feeling of helplessness. Another reason heartbreak is so painful is because of the way we form social bonds. Humans are social creatures, and relationships play a central role in our lives. When an important relationship ends, not only is the emotional connection severed, but also an important part of our social fabric. This can increase feelings of isolation and loneliness. Cultural and societal factors also play a role in how intensely we experience heartbreak. In many cultures, romantic love is seen as one of the highest ideals. Movies, music and literature have embedded the idea of true love deeply in our consciousness. When a relationship ends, it can therefore not only feel like a personal loss, but also like the failure of an important life goal. This societal expectation can intensify the pain because it makes us feel like we have failed. Physically, heartbreak can actually cause heartache. Broken heart syndrome is a medical condition caused by extreme emotional stress and has symptoms similar to a heart attack. People who suffer from severe heartbreak may experience chest tightness, difficulty breathing, and other physical symptoms related to the emotional stress. Heartbreak also often brings with it sleep disturbances, loss of appetite and physical exhaustion. These physical symptoms intensify the feeling of grief and despair and make it even more difficult to cope with the loss. It's important to recognize that all of these reactions are normal. Heartbreak is a natural response to the loss of an important relationship, and the pain you feel is a sign that you truly loved. However, as intense as the pain may be, there are ways to cope and eventually heal. The key is to accept the process, give yourself time, and take the right steps to prepare for a healthy and fulfilling future. The road to healing in 30 days. Healing from a serious heartbreak is a journey that requires time, patience, and self-compassion. In this book, I'll share a 30-day plan to help you overcome that pain and regain hope. It's not a magic formula, but a structured approach that can help you make small steps forward every day. The plan is designed to be based on 3 main phases: acknowledging and processing the pain, self-care and refocusing, and finally rebuilding and starting over. Each of these phases is crucial to the healing process and will gradually lead you out of the valley of heartbreak. Phase: recognition and processing of pain. Day 1-10. The first 10 days focus on acknowledging and processing the pain. It's about accepting the reality of the loss and dealing with it emotionally. Often people tend to suppress or avoid the pain by distracting themselves or trying to forget the relationship immediately. But in order to truly heal, it's important to face your own feelings. During the first few days, you will deal intensively with your emotions. You will learn techniques to allow the pain to come without drowning in it. This includes keeping a diary in which you record your thoughts and feelings, as well as meditations and breathing exercises that help you to stay in the moment and experience the pain consciously. During this phase, it is also important to reflect on old memories and learn to let them go. You will learn methods to let go of memories of the past relationship and to begin the process of forgiveness and acceptance. These first few days are often the most difficult, as the pain is still very fresh and the wound is deep. But it is also the phase in which you lay the foundation for your healing. You will learn how to minimize or cut off contact with your ex-partner, which is an important step in creating emotional distance and supporting the healing process. In addition, you will realize that it is okay to feel sad, angry, or disappointed. These feelings are a natural part of letting go and processing. Phase: self-care and reorientation. Days 11-20. After you've taken the first steps to process the pain, the next 10 days focus on self-care and refocusing. This phase is crucial to stabilizing your emotional and physical state and regaining control of your life. During this phase, you will learn how to do good for yourself. This means incorporating activities into your daily routine that bring you joy and distract you. Exercise, healthy eating and sufficient sleep play a central role in this, as they promote your physical well-being and help you feel better overall. Another important aspect of this phase is mindfulness. You will learn techniques to live in the here and now and not let negative thoughts or the past overwhelm you. Mindfulness exercises and meditation can help you focus on your breathing, your surroundings and your current feelings without letting them control you. At the same time, you will begin to rebuild or strengthen your social network. Friends and family are especially important during this time, as they provide you with emotional support and remind you that you are not alone. You will be encouraged to reconnect with people you may not have spoken to in a while, or try new social activities to make new acquaintances. This phase is also about questioning old habits and changing them if necessary. You may find that there are certain behaviors or ways of thinking that keep throwing you back into the same pain. It is time to recognize these patterns and actively work on breaking them. Phase: reconstruction and new beginning. Day 21-30. The last 10 days are dedicated to rebuilding and starting over. After stabilizing yourself emotionally in the previous phases, it is now time to start a new phase of your life. You will focus on setting new goals and looking forward to the future. This phase is about developing a plan for your life after heartbreak. You will think about what you really want and how you can achieve those goals. Maybe you want to pursue a new career, start a new hobby, or invest more time in your personal interests. It's important that you focus on what you really care about and work towards it. You are also encouraged to be open to new experiences and encounters. This doesn't necessarily mean that you should start a new relationship right away, but that you are ready to meet new people and open yourself up to life. It is a time of growth and discovery, where you find out who you are and what really makes you happy. An important part of this phase is also forgiveness. This does not only mean forgiving your ex-partner, but also forgiving yourself. It is important to let go of the past and not dwell on old mistakes or hurts. Forgiveness is a powerful tool to find inner peace and be free to start anew. At the end of these 30 days, you will find that you have not only overcome heartbreak, but also become stronger and more confident. You will be ready to start the next chapter of your life with an open heart and a clear mind. Closing remarks. The 30 days may seem like a short time, but they can mark the beginning of a profound change in your life. Healing from heartbreak is not a linear process. There will be setbacks, and there will be days when the pain is worse than others. But with patience, self-care, and a willingness to move forward, you can put this pain behind you. Remember that heartbreak is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you are capable of loving deeply and building a strong emotional connection with other people. This ability is a gift, even if it is sometimes painful. Use the next 30 days to rediscover yourself, to heal old wounds, and to prepare yourself for a future full of possibilities. At the end of this journey, you will find that you are stronger and more resilient than you ever thought. Life after heartbreak can be colorful and exciting again, and it's just waiting for you to live it to the fullest. Day 1-5. Acknowledging the pain. The first few days after the end of a relationship are often the hardest. The pain is deep and it can feel like the world is falling apart around you. During this phase, it is important to acknowledge the pain and not suppress it. This may seem counterintuitive at first. After all, you want to get rid of the pain and not feel it even more intensely. But acknowledging the pain is the first step to healing. If you accept your feelings and give them space, they can begin to change and heal. The next 5 days focus on consciously experiencing, understanding, and accepting the pain. It is a time of reflection in which you will get to know yourself and your emotions better. By acknowledging the pain, you lay the foundation for the further healing process. Day 1. Accept your feelings. The first day is about accepting your feelings without judging or suppressing them. After a breakup, the emotions are often overwhelming. Sadness, anger, disappointment, fear of the future. All of these feelings can arise at the same time. It is important to realize that all of these emotions are normal and justified. They show that you had a deep connection with another person and that this loss now needs to be processed. The first step is to become aware of the feelings that are coming up inside you. Take time to sit down and listen to yourself. You may want to keep a journal in which you write down your thoughts and feelings. Writing things down can help you organize your emotions and understand them better. It is also helpful to observe the physical reactions that accompany your emotions. Do you feel a tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat, or a pulling sensation in your stomach? These physical symptoms are often an expression of your inner feelings. By noticing them, you can establish a connection between your body and your emotions and better understand how deep the pain is. Resist the temptation to suppress your feelings or distract yourself. It's okay to feel sad, cry, or hurt. All of these reactions are part of the healing process. Allow yourself to give yourself space to these feelings without feeling ashamed or judged. An important part of the first day is also self-acceptance. Remind yourself that it's okay to be vulnerable. You are human, and humans are emotional and sensitive by nature. By accepting your feelings, you are also accepting yourself, with all your strengths and weaknesses. This is a significant step on the road to healing. At the end of the day, you can give yourself a moment of peace. Realize that you have taken the first step towards healing. You have acknowledged your feelings, and that is a brave and important decision. This is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Day 2. The Emotional Emergency Plan. After accepting your feelings on the first day, the second day is about creating an emotional emergency plan. This plan is designed to help you deal with particularly intense moments of pain when you feel like you can't take it anymore. Such moments can come suddenly, perhaps through a memory, an encounter, or simply through the feeling of loneliness. An emergency plan gives you strategies to stay stable in these moments and to cope with the pain in a healthy way. The emotional emergency plan consists of various components that are tailored to your individual needs. You can write it down so that you can refer to it in particularly difficult moments. Breathing exercises and mindfulness. When the pain becomes overwhelming, conscious breathing can help you calm down. A simple breathing exercise is to breathe deeply in through your nose, hold your breath briefly, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Focus on your breathing and try to bring your mind to the present moment. Mindfulness exercises, such as being aware of your surroundings or focusing on a specific object, can also be helpful in distracting you from the intense emotions. Positive self-talk. In moments of pain, we often tend to judge ourselves negatively or blame ourselves. It is important to counteract these negative thoughts. Make a list of positive affirmations or encouraging phrases that you can say to yourself in difficult moments. Examples could be, I am strong enough to get through this. I deserve to be happy. Or this pain will pass. Say these phrases out loud or repeat them in your head to calm yourself down. Distractions. Sometimes it is necessary to distract yourself in order to avoid plunging into the pain. Make a list of activities that bring you joy or at least keep you occupied. These could be a walk in nature, a phone call with a friend, reading a good book, watching a film or listening to music. Make sure that these activities are really good for you and do not drag you down even more. Seek support. If the pain becomes too much, don't hesitate to seek support. This can be in the form of talking to a close friend or family member. Sometimes it helps to just talk to someone who will listen and offer comfort. You can also consider professional help if you feel the pain is too overwhelming to handle on your own. A therapist can give you tools to better manage your emotions. An emergency kit. Put together a physical emergency kit that you can use in moments of pain. This kit could include calming teas, a scented candle, a soothing book, a notepad to write in, or a favorite photo. Anything that brings you comfort in difficult moments can be included in this kit. Keep it in an easily accessible place so you have it on hand when you need it. Withdrawal versus contact. Consider when it is better to withdraw and when it might be helpful to seek contact with others. Sometimes it helps to be alone for a short time and sort out your own feelings. At other times, contact with friends or talking to someone you trust can be an important support. Find out what works best for you in which moment. By the end of the second day, you will have a plan in hand that will help you manage the pain when it becomes particularly strong. This plan is your personal tool to remain stable even in difficult times and to advance the healing process. By developing this plan and applying it regularly, you will strengthen your ability to deal with heartbreak and gradually regain control of your emotions. Day 3. Avoid self-blame. After a breakup, it is very common for people to start blaming themselves for the failure of the relationship. Thoughts like, what could I have done differently? Was I not good enough, or should I have said something, often swirl around in your head. These self-blames can make the healing process much more difficult because they increase feelings of guilt and shame. That is why it is important to consciously work on recognizing and breaking these negative thought patterns on the third day of the healing process. Why we blame ourselves. The first step to avoiding self-blame is understanding why we tend to blame ourselves in the first place. Often, this stems from a need to have control over the situation. By placing the blame on ourselves, we unconsciously suggest that we had the power to save the relationship. However, this way of thinking is misleading and unhealthy because it traps us in a never-ending loop of guilt and regret. It's also important to realize that relationships are always the result of the dynamic between two people. It's rare that the failure of a relationship is due to one person alone. There are always a variety of factors that led to the end of a relationship, and not all of them are within your control. The power of perspective. An important step to avoid self-blame is to change your perspective. Instead of focusing on your perceived mistakes, try to look at the situation from a different point of view. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this relationship? What positive qualities did I bring to the relationship? Which aspects of the relationship were good for me and which were bad for me? Through this reflection, you will realize that there are both positive and negative aspects to every relationship and that you have done your best despite the challenges. This change in perspective can help you look at yourself with more compassion and understanding. Cultivating self-compassion. One effective way to combat self-blame is to cultivate self-compassion. This means treating yourself the way you would treat a good friend who was in a similar situation. Would you blame or judge a friend for the failed relationship? Probably not. Instead, you would offer compassionate and supportive words. Try to adopt this attitude towards yourself as well. Remind yourself that it is human to make mistakes and that it is okay not to be perfect. You did your best and that is enough. One way to practice self-compassion is to try a self-compassion meditation. Sit in a quiet place. Close your eyes, and imagine yourself offering comfort and compassion to yourself during this difficult time. You can also say positive affirmations to yourself, such as, I am good as I am, I deserve love and compassion, or it's okay to make mistakes. Recognizing negative thought patterns. Self-blame is often the result of automatic negative thought patterns. These thoughts can be deeply rooted in our subconscious and repeatedly pull us into a downward spiral. The key to stopping these thoughts is to recognize and question them. When you catch yourself blaming yourself, stop and ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have that I am solely to blame? Is there another, more positive interpretation of the situation? By questioning your thoughts, you can invalidate them and free yourself from their negative influence. Forgive yourself. An important step in the process of self-forgiveness is acknowledging your humanity. Recognize that, like everyone else, you are not perfect and that you have made mistakes. And that's okay. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean denying your mistakes, but rather being willing to let them go and focus on what you have learned from them. Forgiveness is a powerful tool that can help you break free from the chains of guilt and focus on the positive. Take time to consciously forgive yourself by saying to yourself, I forgive myself for the mistakes I have made. I released guilt and opened myself to healing and growth. At the end of the third day, focus on letting go of self-blame and looking at yourself with more compassion. By breaking these negative thought patterns, you create space for healing and can take the next step on your journey to overcoming heartbreak. Day 4. Developing an understanding of the situation. On the fourth day of the healing process, the focus is on developing a deeper understanding of the situation that led to the breakup. It is about reflecting on the dynamics of the relationship, understanding the reasons for the end of the relationship and drawing important lessons for the future. This day is crucial for gaining clarity and easing the pain of the misunderstood and unresolved. Look at the relationship objectively. Start the day by looking at the relationship from a more objective perspective. Try to distance yourself from the intense emotions you may still be feeling and reflect on the relationship as a whole. What were the strengths and weaknesses of the relationship? Which moments were particularly beautiful and which were particularly difficult? By trying to look at the relationship objectively, you can get a clearer picture of what worked well and what didn't. It's helpful to realize that no relationship is perfect and that there are challenges in every partnership. This reflection can help you see the relationship in a larger context and understand the separation as a step in your personal growth. Understanding the reasons for the separation. The next step is to analyze the reasons why the relationship ended. This is often one of the most difficult parts of the healing process, as it can be hard to confront the causes of the failure. But this understanding is necessary to make peace with the situation. Ask yourself, what ultimately led to the separation? Were there recurring conflicts, different life goals, or incompatible values? Was it a slow process of growing apart, or was there a specific event that triggered the separation? It is important to be honest with yourself and to recognize both your own part and that of your ex-partner, without getting lost in blame. If you're having trouble seeing the reasons clearly, it can be helpful to talk about it with a trusted friend or write down your thoughts. Sometimes speaking the situation out loud or putting it on paper can help you gain more clarity. Learning lessons from the relationship. Every relationship, whether it ends well or badly, offers valuable lessons that can be useful in future relationships. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this relationship? What insights did I gain about myself? What behavioral patterns or attitudes do I want to change in future relationships? This reflection is an important step in drawing the positives from the experience and using them for your personal development. Perhaps you learned the importance of communication in a relationship, or you realized that you need to set clearer boundaries in certain areas of your life. Whatever it is, these lessons are treasures to take away from the relationship. Understanding does not mean accepting. It's important to stress that understanding the situation does not mean completely accepting everything that happened. There may be aspects of the breakup that you are not yet able or willing to fully accept, and that's okay. Today is meant to help you better understand the situation, but it's an ongoing process that takes time. However, understanding can help you find the inner peace you need to move on. It allows you to contextualize the events in your life and ease the pain associated with not understanding. By understanding why things turned out the way they did, you can begin to put the past behind you and focus on the future. Develop compassion for both sides. As you close out the fourth day, it's helpful to develop compassion for both yourself and your ex-partner. Regardless of how the breakup unfolded, it's likely that both sides of the relationship suffered in some way. Showing compassion for yourself and your ex-partner can be an important step in releasing resentment and encouraging the healing process. Compassion means recognizing that both you and your ex are human beings who make mistakes and may be in complex emotional situations. Try to understand the other person's perspective without excusing their actions, while allowing yourself to acknowledge your own feelings and needs. This compassion can help you ease the burden of negative feelings and start you on the path to forgiveness. Looking to the future. After reflecting on and understanding the situation, it is important to look to the future. Ask yourself, how do I want my future to be after learning these lessons? What changes do I want to make in my life to ensure that I am happier and more fulfilled in future relationships? You can end the fourth day by making a list of goals or desires for your future. This list can serve as a guide as you begin to redesign your life and focus on what you really want. It can also help you let go of the past and look forward to the opportunities and possibilities that lie ahead. Summary of the day. By the end of the 4th day, you should have developed a deeper understanding of the dynamics of your past relationship. You've reflected on what went right and what went wrong, and you've begun to see the reasons for the breakup. By showing compassion to yourself and your ex-partner, you can begin to let go of the resentment and negative feelings that may be holding you back. This day is an important step on the path to healing as it helps you gain clarity and see the breakup in a larger context. With this understanding, you are better equipped to look forward and take the next steps on your path to a happier and more fulfilling life. Day 5. First steps toward self-care. After the first 4 days of acknowledging your feelings, creating an emotional emergency plan, avoiding self-blame, and reflecting on the situation, on the 5th day it's time to focus on yourself. Self-care is a key part of the healing process after a breakup. It means that you actively take care of promoting your physical, emotional, and mental health. Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity to cope with the pain of heartbreak and regain your strength. Why self-care is so important? Self-care is essential because it helps you restore and maintain your well-being. After a breakup, it can be easy to neglect yourself, whether through unhealthy habits, not taking care of your body, or dwelling on negative thoughts. Self-care is the key to regaining balance and giving yourself the love and attention you deserve. By practicing self-care, you show yourself that you are valuable and that it is important to take care of yourself. It is a sign of self-love and self-respect that will help you ease the pain and find inner peace. Physical self-care. A good place to start with self-care is your physical well-being. Your body carries a lot of stress and tension, especially after an emotionally stressful experience like a breakup. Taking care of your body can help you feel better and recover faster. Start by eating a balanced diet. Maybe you've had less appetite or been eating unhealthily in the last few days. Try to fuel your body with nutrient-rich foods that give you energy and strength. Also make sure you drink enough water to stay hydrated. Regular exercise is also an important part of physical self-care. This doesn't have to mean starting an intense fitness program right away. A simple walk in the fresh air, yoga, or light stretching can do wonders to relieve tension and lift your mood. Exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood enhancers and can help you feel better. Getting enough sleep is also important. Heartbreak can have a big impact on sleep, but try to establish a regular sleep routine. Create a relaxing sleep environment and avoid excessive screen time before bed to improve your sleep quality. Emotional self-care. Emotional self-care means allowing yourself to experience and process your feelings without letting them overwhelm you. This can be supported by various techniques, such as keeping a journal in which you record your thoughts and emotions. Writing can have a therapeutic effect and help you gain clarity and sort out your feelings. It is also important to say positive and encouraging things to yourself. Give yourself courage and remind yourself that you can overcome this pain. Affirmations such as "I deserve love and happiness," "I am strong and will overcome this challenge," or "It's okay that I am sad but I will be happy again" can help you develop a positive inner attitude. Also, look for activities that bring you joy and uplift you emotionally. This could be a creative hobby that helps you calm your mind, like painting, making music, or writing. Or it could be a relaxing activity like meditation, taking a warm bath, or reading an inspirational book. Social self-care. Social self-care is also an important part of your healing process. Connecting with people close to you can offer comfort and support during difficult times. Don't hesitate to reach out to friends or family members when you feel the need to talk or be company. It can be very helpful to talk to someone who will listen to you without judgment. At the same time, it's important to set boundaries and not overwhelm yourself. If you feel like you need time for yourself, it's perfectly fine to step back and give yourself the rest you need. Self-care means listening to your needs and taking them seriously. Spiritual self-care. Mental self-care involves taking care of your mental state and paying attention to how you think about yourself and the world. This may mean challenging negative thought patterns and trying to develop a more positive outlook. It may also mean engaging with inspirational and motivational content that uplifts you and helps you maintain an optimistic attitude. Try to make time for mental relaxation on a regular basis, whether through meditation, mindfulness exercises, or simply enjoying a quiet moment. This can help you clear your mind and find inner peace. Summary of the day. By the end of day 5, you should have a better understanding of the importance of self-care and the steps you can take to take care of yourself. By taking these first steps toward self-care, you will lay the foundation for long-term healing and strengthen your well-being. You will find that the more you take care of yourself and give yourself the love and attention you deserve, the better you feel over time. Day 6-10. Letting go and creating space. For the next 5 days, you will focus on letting go and making space for healing and growth. Letting go means questioning and letting go of old habits, patterns and connections that prevent you from moving forward. It's about making space for new things, both internally and externally, and giving yourself the freedom to be yourself again. Day 6. Reduce contact. The 6th day is about reducing or cutting off contact with your ex-partner. This is often one of the most difficult steps in the healing process, but it is crucial to create emotional space and support the healing process. Why breaking off contact is important. After a breakup, it is often tempting to maintain contact with your ex, whether out of a desire to stay friends or the hope that things might change again. But in most cases, continued contact makes it harder to let go and prolongs the pain. Every message, every phone call and every meeting can reopen old wounds and delay the healing process. By reducing or cutting off contact, you give yourself the chance to gain emotional distance and focus on your own well-being. You create space to rediscover yourself and develop further without the influence of your ex-partner. Set clear boundaries. If a complete break in contact is not possible or not desired, for example because of shared children or professional commitments, it is important to set clear boundaries. Think about what kind of contact is really necessary and what communication can be avoided. If necessary, talk to your ex-partner about the fact that you need some time away to speed up the healing process. Agree on clear rules for contact and stick to them. It can be helpful to temporarily block or avoid certain communication channels, such as social media, to resist temptation and avoid unnecessary pain. Social media and reminders. Social media can be an additional burden when it comes to letting go. Constantly observing your ex's life or confronting shared memories can make the healing process more difficult. Consider whether it makes sense to stop following your ex on social media or at least hide their posts. Removing mementos, such as photos, gifts, or other items that remind you of the past relationship can also help you get rid of emotional baggage. You don't have to throw these things away. but it can be helpful to temporarily remove them from your sight. Seek support. Reducing or cutting off contact can be painful and challenging. Don't hesitate to seek support from friends, family, or a therapist. It's completely normal for this step to be difficult, and it can be very helpful to have someone by your side to support and encourage you during this difficult time. Detaching emotionally from an ex-partner can feel like a painful sacrifice, but it is a necessary step in taking control of your life again. A supportive environment can help you stick with this step and remind you why it is important to let go. Self-discipline and patience. It takes self-discipline to reduce or cut off contact, especially when the temptation to get back in touch with your ex is strong. It's important to trust yourself and be patient with yourself. Setbacks can happen, and that's okay. The healing process is rarely linear. When you feel the need to reach out, remind yourself why you're taking this step. Ask yourself, will reaching out help me in the long run, or will it set back my healing process? Find alternative ways to deal with these feelings, such as writing in a journal, talking to a friend, or distracting yourself with an activity you enjoy. Opening up space for new possibilities. By reducing contact, you open up space for new possibilities in your life. You create the freedom to focus on your own needs and desires and to reflect on what is good for you. This newfound space is important for rediscovering yourself and growing. You will find that as you create emotional distance from your ex-partner, you gradually gain more energy and clarity. This space allows you to try new hobbies, meet new people, and focus on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Summary of the day. By the end of the 6th day, you should have a clear plan for how you want to reduce or cut off contact with your ex-partner. You have understood why this step is important, and you have developed strategies to resist temptations and deal with setbacks. This day marks the beginning of letting go and creates space for your healing and personal development. The next few days will be based on continuing to use this space and focusing even more intensively on your own well-being. You will learn to let go of old memories, establish new routines, and look forward to a positive and self-determined future. The process of letting go is not easy, but it is necessary to free yourself from the burden of the past and to be ready for everything that life still has in store for you. Day 6. Reduce contact. The 6th day of the healing process focuses on reducing contact with your ex-partner. This is a crucial step to create emotional space and support the healing process. Maintaining contact with an ex-partner can often prolong the pain and reopen the wounds caused by the breakup. That's why it's important to minimize contact or temporarily cut it off altogether. Understanding the importance of contact restrictions. A no-contact rule after a breakup helps you to gain emotional distance and to better process the pain of the breakup. Any contact, be it through messages, calls, or face-to-face meetings, can reopen old wounds and make the healing process more difficult. By reducing contact, you give yourself the opportunity to process the breakup without constantly being reminded of your ex-partner. It's not about punishing or ignoring the other person, but about giving yourself the space you need to heal. This period of distance allows you to focus on your own needs and regain your emotional strength. Set clear boundaries. If it is not possible to completely cut off contact, for example because you have shared obligations or are in the same social circle, it is important to set clear boundaries. Think about what kind of communication is really necessary and what can be avoided. For example, You might agree to only communicate when important matters are discussed and to keep your distance otherwise. These boundaries should be communicated respectfully and clearly to avoid misunderstandings and support the healing process. Digital separations. An important aspect of contact with an ex-partner is social media. It can be tempting to follow your ex's activities online, but this can make the healing process much more difficult. Consider temporarily unfollowing your ex on social media or hiding their posts. Deleting or archiving message histories can also be helpful to prevent you from revisiting old memories. This is an act of self-care that will help you maintain the emotional distance you need to move on. Dealing with the temptation to contact. It is completely normal to feel the need to contact your ex-partner after a breakup. This may be out of a desire to get answers, clear up misunderstandings, or simply out of loneliness. But it is important to resist this temptation so as not to disrupt the healing process. When you feel the urge to reach out, try to distract yourself. Do something that brings you joy or helps you calm your mind. Talk to a friend about it. Write your feelings in a journal, or do something active to clear your mind. Seek support and encouragement. It can be very helpful to seek support from friends or a therapist during this time. They can help you stay strong and remind you why it's important to reduce contact. It's perfectly fine to reach out for help during difficult moments. You don't have to go through this journey alone. Use the open space. By reducing contact, you create space for yourself. Use this space to focus on your own needs and desires. Think about what activities are good for you and what goals you want to pursue in your life. This space is a chance to rediscover yourself and find your way after the separation. Summary of the day. By the end of the 6th day, you should have a plan for how you want to reduce or cut off contact with your ex-partner. This step is crucial to create emotional space and advance the healing process. It is not easy, but it is necessary to free yourself from the burden of the past relationship and create space for your own development. Day 7. Letting go of memories. On the 7th day, focus on letting go of mementos of the past relationship. These items, whether they are photos, gifts, or other personal memories, often carry an emotional burden that can hinder the healing process. By letting go of these things, you make room for new things in your life and support your path to emotional healing. The emotional meaning of memorabilia. Keepsakes have a strong emotional power. They remind us of special moments, feelings, and experiences we shared with someone. But after a breakup, these items can also cause pain and sadness because they constantly remind us of what we have lost. It's important to realize that letting go of these mementos doesn't mean denying or forgetting the past. Rather, it's about shedding emotional baggage to make room for healing and growth. Gradual separation. The process of letting go doesn't have to be rushed. You can take it step by step. First, removing the items that cause the most pain. Start by removing them from your immediate environment. Perhaps put them in a box and put it somewhere you don't see them all the time. When you feel ready, you can decide what you want to do with these items. Some people find it helpful to give them away or donate them, while others keep them but store them in a less accessible space. The important thing is not to put pressure on yourself. You decide the pace at which you part with these mementos. Delete or archive digital memories. In addition to physical objects, there are often digital memories that you need to let go of. These include photos on your phone, old message threads, or social media posts. These digital memories can be just as distressing as physical objects. You can decide whether you want to delete these memories completely or simply archive them in a separate folder that you don't regularly look through. The act of archiving or deleting is a symbolic step that helps you put the past behind you and focus on the future. Rituals of letting go. Some people find it helpful to accompany the act of letting go with a small ritual. This can be as simple as writing a letter to your ex-partner that you don't send, in which you write down everything you want to let go. You can then tear up the letter, burn it, or symbolically release it in some other way. Another ritual might be to release the items in a place that is especially important to you, such as by burying them or giving them to the water. These rituals can help you find emotional closure and support the healing process. Create new memories. By getting rid of old mementos, you make room for new experiences and memories. Use the opportunity to have new, positive experiences in your life. Start discovering new hobbies, meeting up with friends or visiting places you don't know yet. These new memories will help you let go of the past and look forward to the future. Self-compassion and patience. Letting go of memories can be painful and require a lot of emotional courage. Be patient with yourself and have compassion for what you are going through. It is an important step in your healing process, but it does not need to be rushed. Allow yourself to go at your own pace and accept the feelings that come up. Summary of the day. By the end of the 7th day, you will hopefully have taken the first step in releasing memories that are weighing you down emotionally. This act of letting go is a powerful step on your path to healing. It allows you to leave the past behind and make room for new, positive experiences in your life. By letting go of old memories, you opened yourself to the possibility of a new chapter in your life, one that is full of hope and new opportunities. Day 8. Creating space for yourself. On the 8th day of the healing process, the focus is on creating physical and emotional spaces for yourself. After a breakup, it is important to create places and opportunities where you feel safe, secure and supported. These spaces serve as retreats where you can rediscover and heal yourself. They help you to distance yourself from the past and focus on your own well-being. The importance of personal spaces. Spaces that are only yours and in which you feel comfortable are essential for your healing process. These spaces give you the opportunity to withdraw, reflect and get back in touch with yourself. These can be physical places, such as a specific room in your home, or mental and emotional spaces that you create through rituals or habits. Physical space is often closely linked to our emotional state. A tidy, comfortable and personal space can provide a feeling of safety and security. It gives you the opportunity to relax and focus on yourself. Create a physical retreat. Think about what place in your home you want to make your personal retreat. This could be your bedroom, a corner of the living room, or even a small office. Design this space to give you a feeling of calm and security. You may want to decorate it with items that bring you joy, such as plants, artwork, candles, or memories of positive experiences. An important aspect of this room is that it is free of reminders of your ex-partner. Remove photos, gifts or other items that may remind you of the past relationship. This room should be dedicated solely to you and your well-being. Establish rituals for emotional spaces. In addition to physical spaces, it is also important to create emotional spaces for yourself. This can be done through daily rituals that help you calm down and focus on your needs. For example, You could start each morning with a short meditation to set the mood for the day, or keep a journal in the evening to record your thoughts and feelings. These rituals can help you create an emotional space in which you can reflect and heal. They give structure to your day and help you to regularly schedule time for yourself. Set boundaries and reserve time for yourself. It is important that you consciously make time for yourself and also defend that time. Set clear boundaries with others to ensure that these times are respected. This means that you have no obligations to others during these times and can fully focus on yourself. This time for yourself is not selfish, but necessary to restore your emotional balance. It gives you the opportunity to recover and regain strength. Activities for your rooms. Think about what activities in your personal space could bring you joy and relaxation. Maybe you would like to read, write, listen to music, meditate, or just think in peace. The important thing is that these activities are good for you and support you in your healing process. These activities should help you calm your mind and recharge you with positive feelings. They are an important part of your daily routine and will help you to refocus on yourself. Long-term care of your rooms. It is important that you maintain these spaces over the long term and keep them as a permanent part of your life. They should also serve as a place of refuge when you feel stressed or overwhelmed. By visiting and maintaining these spaces regularly, you create a stable foundation for your emotional well-being. Summary of the day. By the end of day 8, you will hopefully have created a physical and emotional space for yourself that serves as a sanctuary. This space is a place where you feel safe and secure and where you can fully focus on your well-being. It will help you rediscover yourself and move forward in your healing process. Day 9. Social media detox. The 9th day of the healing process focuses on a social media detox. In this day and age, social media plays a huge role in our lives, and after a breakup, it can often do more harm than good. Constant updates about your ex's life or the feeling that everyone else is living a happier life can significantly hinder the healing process. Conscious use of social media is therefore an important step in creating emotional space and focusing on your own life. Why a social media detox is important. Social media can be a double-edged sword after a breakup. On the one hand, it offers distraction and entertainment, but on the other hand, it can constantly remind you of your ex-partner or reinforce negative feelings such as jealousy, insecurity, or sadness. Constantly comparing yourself to other people's lives can put additional stress on you and undermine your self-esteem. A social media detox helps you reduce these negative influences and spend more time and energy on yourself. It gives you the opportunity to focus on the real people and activities in your life instead of dwelling on the digital world. Planning the detox. A social media detox doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go offline completely. It's more about consciously reducing your consumption and controlling the influence that social media has on your life. You can decide how long you want to do this detox, be it for a day, a week, or longer. Set clear rules for how often and for how long you want to use social media. Maybe you decide to only go online once a day for a limited amount of time, or avoid certain apps altogether. It's important that you stick to these rules to experience the full benefits of the detox. Identify and avoid negative triggers. Think about which content or accounts have a particularly negative impact on you and try to consciously avoid them. These could be, for example, posts from your ex-partner or mutual friends that remind you of your past relationship. You can temporarily mute, Unfollow or block such accounts to give yourself the space you need. Also, think about what kind of content might make you feel good. You might want to follow accounts that share positive and inspirational content that motivates and builds you up rather than brings you down. Find alternative activities. A social media detox gives you the opportunity to use your time differently. Think about what activities you could do instead of scrolling through social media. This could be reading a book, exercising, cooking, going for a walk, or spending time with friends and family. These alternative activities should help you focus on the here and now and create positive experiences. They give you the opportunity to reconnect more with the real world and occupy your mind in a productive and enjoyable way. Mindfulness in the digital world. An important aspect of social media detox is to be more mindful of your digital consumption. When you use social media, try to do so consciously and reflectively. Ask yourself why you are online and whether it is really good for you. If you find that social media is burdening you rather than enriching you, it may be time to take a break. This mindfulness will help you develop a healthier relationship with social media and become less influenced by it. You will learn to consciously choose when and how you want to use social media, rather than letting it control you. Enjoy the positive effects. After a few days of detoxing, you will probably notice positive changes. You may feel less stressed, have more time for other activities, and feel more balanced overall. These positive effects can be an incentive to use social media more consciously in the long term. You will find that when you spend less time online, you have more space for yourself and your own needs. This space is important to support your healing process and focus on your own life. Summary of the day. By the end of day 9, you will hopefully have taken the first steps towards a social media detox. This detox will help you reduce the influence of social media on your emotional well-being and focus more time and energy on yourself. By being more conscious of your digital consumption, you will create space for real connections and positive experiences in your life. This is an important step to support your healing process after the breakup and to free yourself from the negative influences that social media can have on your emotions. Establish long-term changes. After your social media detox, it is important to maintain the positive habits you have developed during this time in the long term. Think about which aspects of the detox you want to integrate into your everyday life. Perhaps you decide to continue to take conscious breaks from social media, reduce the amount of time you spend on it, or only follow certain content that is really good for you. By establishing these long-term changes, you will create a healthy balance between the digital and real world. You will find yourself less dependent on social media and more in control of your digital consumption. Reflect on your successes. At the end of your social media detox, take time to reflect on what this experience was like for you. What positive changes did you notice? What helped you feel better the most? What would you like to do differently in the future? Reflecting on these experiences will help you see the value of the detox and give you the motivation to continue using social media mindfully. It will show you that you have the ability to make positive changes in your life and that you are strong enough to take control of your digital consumption. Summary of the 9th day. By the end of day 9, you should be feeling the positive effects of your social media detox and have taken the first steps towards a healthier use of digital media. You've learned the importance of making conscious decisions about when and how you use social media and have found alternative activities that promote your emotional well-being. This day is an important milestone on your journey to healing and self-care. By being more conscious of your digital consumption, you create more space for real connections, personal development, and positive experiences. This not only supports your healing process after the breakup, but also helps you maintain a healthy and balanced relationship with social media in the long term. Day 10. Establish new routines. On the 10th day of the healing process, you focus on establishing new routines in your daily life. After a breakup, it can feel like life is out of whack and many old habits and rituals no longer fit. By developing new routines, you create a structure that helps you find stability and security. These new habits not only support your healing process, but also your long-term well-being. The importance of new routines. Routines give our lives structure and help us organize our day. They can be very helpful, especially after an emotional upheaval like a breakup, to get back into everyday life and regain a sense of control. New routines give you the opportunity to focus on positive and healthy habits that give you strength and stability. By consciously establishing new routines, you lay the foundation for a life that is more focused on yourself and your needs. These routines help you to emotionally stabilize yourself, focus your energy on the present and the future, and break free from the old patterns associated with the past relationship. Morning routines. Starting your day off right can have a big impact on how you feel the rest of the day. Think about what new morning routines could help you start the day on a positive note. It could be a short meditation to calm your mind, a light workout to get your body going, or a healthy breakfast to give you energy. You could also schedule time to write in a journal, recording your thoughts and goals for the day. This morning reflection will help you focus on the positive and prepare you for the day's tasks and challenges. Evening routines. A conscious evening routine can also help you to end the day well and relax. Think about how you want to spend the evening to prepare your body and mind for sleep. This could be reading a book, taking a relaxing bath, or listening to calming music. It's important to schedule a relaxation period before bedtime, where you consciously switch off and leave the day behind you. This routine can help you sleep better and start the next day with fresh energy. Exercise and physical activity. Regular exercise is an important part of your healing process. Think about how you can incorporate physical activity into your daily routine. It doesn't necessarily have to be intense exercise. A daily walk, yoga, or light exercises at home can make a big difference. Physical activity helps you relieve stress, release endorphins, and feel better overall. It also gives you the opportunity to spend time with yourself and focus on your body. Self-care as a routine. Self-care should be a regular part of your daily routines. Think about how you can regularly take time for yourself to nurture and attend to your needs. This could be a regular meditation practice, keeping a journal, cooking healthy meals, or pursuing a creative hobby. These self-care routines will help you stay in touch with yourself and regularly remind yourself that you are worthy of being treated well, not only by others, but most importantly by yourself. Social routines. It's also important to develop social routines that help you stay in touch with friends and family. Schedule regular meetings, phone calls, or shared activities that bring you joy and support. These social routines will help you feel connected and supported. At the same time, It is important to set healthy boundaries here too. Make sure that you take on social obligations that are good for you and avoid those that burden or exhaust you. Time for reflection and adaptation. Establishing new routines takes time and patience. It is important that you regularly take time to reflect on how these routines work for you. What is working particularly well for you? What could be improved? Be flexible and prepared to adapt your routines if you notice that they are not working the way you want them to. This process of reflection will help you ensure that your routines are truly contributing to your well-being and that they are helping you advance the healing process. Summary of the day. By the end of the 10th day, you should have developed a set of new routines that help you find stability and security in your everyday life. These routines are an important part of your healing process and will help you focus on your own needs and restructure your life after the breakup. By consciously establishing new habits, you lay the foundation for a life that focuses more on yourself and your well-being. These routines help you to emotionally stabilize yourself, focus on positive changes and move step by step towards a more fulfilling and self-determined life. Day 11-15. Focus on your own well-being. Day 11. Practice mindfulness. On the 11th day, the focus is on the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness means living in the here and now and consciously perceiving each moment without judging it. This practice can help you calm your mind and let go of negative thoughts. Start with simple mindfulness exercises, such as conscious breathing or focusing on the sensory impressions around you. When you go for a walk, pay conscious attention to the sounds, smells and the feel of the ground beneath your feet. Mindfulness helps you to distance yourself from negative emotions and find calm in stressful moments. It is a valuable technique to support you in your healing process and bring you more clarity and peace. By integrating mindfulness into your everyday life, you learn to control your thoughts and regulate your emotions better, which leads to more inner peace in the long term. Day 12. Strengthening physical health. The 12th day focuses on strengthening your physical health. Physical activity plays an essential role in your well-being, especially during times of emotional stress. Choose a form of exercise that brings you joy, be it jogging, yoga, swimming or simply taking a walk in nature. Regular exercise not only promotes your physical health, but also your mental health. It helps reduce stress and promotes the production of endorphins, the so-called happiness hormones. Also make sure you eat a balanced diet that gives you the energy you need to feel strong and vital. Avoid unhealthy habits such as excessive consumption of alcohol or junk food, which may comfort you in the short term but are harmful in the long term. By focusing on your physical health, you are laying another important foundation for your healing process and promoting a feeling of strength and stability. Day 13. Finding creative expressions. The 13th day is about creative finding outlets to help you process your feelings. Creativity is a powerful way to express emotions and find inner peace. This could be painting, writing, making music, or any other creative activity that you enjoy. These activities allow you to explore and process your thoughts and feelings in a non-verbal way. You don't have to be an artist to be creative. It's about finding a personal outlet that helps you release your emotions and gain new perspectives. Creativity can also be an outlet for stress and help you keep yourself busy in positive and constructive ways. By expressing yourself creatively, you create space for healing and discovery within yourself, which will help you reframe your path after the breakup. Day 14. Seek support. On day 14 of the healing process, the focus is on seeking support. After a breakup, it can be easy to isolate yourself and try to deal with the pain alone. But seeking support is an important step to facilitate the healing process and find emotional support. Support can come in many forms: friends, family, or even professional help from a therapist. It's important to realize that seeking help is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it shows that you are willing to take the necessary steps to heal yourself. Friends and family can be a valuable source of support. Not only do they offer emotional closeness and understanding, but they also provide a different perspective on the situation that can help you see things more clearly. Don't be afraid to reach out to them, even if it's just for a chat or a shared activity that distracts and cheers you up. Professional support from a therapist or counselor can be especially helpful if you feel like the pain is overwhelming or you're stuck in certain patterns. A therapist can teach you techniques to deal with difficult emotions and help you process the breakup in a healthy way. Support groups can also be a valuable resource. Talking to other people who are going through similar things can provide comfort and ease feelings of isolation. It shows you that you are not alone and that there are ways to cope with the pain. Overall, seeking support is a crucial step in your healing process. It helps you share the pain rather than carrying it alone and gives you the strength to keep moving forward. By getting support from others, you will realize that you are not alone in facing life's challenges and that healing is possible. Day 15. Reviving a hobby. On the 15th day, focus on rekindling a hobby that you enjoyed before your relationship became the focus of your life. Hobbies are more than just a way to pass the time. They are an expression of your personality and provide you with a way to keep yourself occupied in a positive and fulfilling way. In times of emotional stress, hobbies can be a welcome distraction and help you sort out your thoughts and focus on something you enjoy. When you think about which hobby you want to revive, ask yourself, what used to bring me joy? Maybe you had a passion for painting, cooking, photography, writing, or sports that took a back seat in your relationship. Now is the perfect time to integrate this hobby back into your everyday life and make the time for it that you deserve. Reviving a hobby can also bring a sense of normalcy and routine back into your life. It gives you something to look forward to and allows you to enter a flow state where you forget about the world around you for a while. This can help ease the emotional pain of the breakup while giving you a sense of accomplishment and pride. Hobbies also provide an opportunity to develop new skills or hone old ones. They can give you a sense of progress and growth, which is especially important if you feel stuck in your healing process. By rekindling a hobby, you not only boost your self-confidence, but you also create a positive focus in your life that distracts you from negative thoughts and brings you joy. Overall, rekindling a hobby helps you reconnect with yourself and find a positive direction in your life. It's a step back to the things that make you who you are as a person and an important part of the process of rediscovering and redefining yourself after the breakup. Day 16-20. Reorientation and self-discovery. Day 16. What do I really want? The 16th day of your healing process is about listening deep within yourself and finding out what you really want in life. After a breakup, it is often unclear what you want for your future because many of your plans and goals were linked to your ex-partner. Now is the time to focus on yourself again and discover your own wishes and dreams. Start this process by asking yourself basic questions. What makes me happy? What values are important to me? What are my life goals? These questions are crucial to gaining clarity about what you really want. It can be helpful to answer these questions in writing to organize and reflect on your thoughts. You may find that some of your previous goals have changed, or that you have new goals that weren't at the forefront of your relationship. Allow yourself to accept these changes and see them as part of your growth process. It's normal for your priorities and desires to change over time, especially after a major life change like a breakup. It's also important to set realistic goals. Think about what you can achieve in the short term, but also what your long-term vision is. Your goals don't have to be monumental. Small, achievable steps are just as valuable and can help you rebuild confidence in yourself. This day is also a good opportunity to question old patterns and expectations that you may have carried with you from the past. Sometimes old beliefs or ideas stop us from pursuing what really fulfills us. Be honest with yourself. Are there things that you have only done to please others and that do not really reflect your own desires? By the end of this day, you should have a clearer picture of what you really want in your life. This clarity will help you reorient yourself and set out on a path to a future based on your own dreams and goals. It is an important step toward self-discovery and creating a life that truly suits you. Day 17. Developing visions of the future. The 17th day is about developing concrete visions for your future. After dealing with your deepest desires and goals on the previous day, it is now time to put them into a tangible form. A clear vision of the future gives you orientation and motivation to move forward and create a life that brings you fulfillment. Start by imagining what your ideal life might look like in 5, 10, or even 20 years. What do you do for a living? Where do you live? What relationships do you have in your life? Try to be as specific as possible and paint a picture that reflects your innermost desires. Visualization exercises can be very helpful in this. Take a moment. Close your eyes and imagine your future self. What do you see? How do you feel? What kind of people are around you? It can also be helpful to write down these visions or create a vision board, a collage of images that symbolize your dreams and goals. The vision board can serve as a daily reminder and help you focus on your goals and make them more tangible. Remember that a vision for the future doesn't have to be set in stone. It's flexible and can change over time as you grow and have new experiences. It's important to stay open to change and to regularly revisit and adjust your vision. This process of visualization not only gives you clarity about where you want to go, but also energy and enthusiasm to follow that path. It helps you to detach from the past and focus on the possibilities that lie ahead. At the end of the day, you should have developed an inspiring vision for your future that will serve as a beacon for you to guide you. This vision will help you make decisions in your day-to-day life that will move you closer to your goals and motivate you to take the necessary steps to create the life you want. Day 18. Promote positive thoughts. On day 18, you focus on fostering positive thoughts and developing a more optimistic attitude. After a breakup, it's easy to get caught in negative thought patterns that revolve around guilt, regret, or insecurity. However, these thoughts can hinder your healing process and prevent you from realizing the potential for a happier life. The first step to encouraging positive thoughts is to become aware of when negative thought patterns arise. Pay attention to how you talk about yourself and your situation. You should consciously identify and question negative self-talk such as "I will never be happy again" or "I am not good enough." Ask yourself, Is this thought really true? What evidence do I have for it? Often these negative thoughts are irrational and based on fears and insecurities. Once you've identified negative thoughts, replace them with positive, realistic affirmations. Tell yourself phrases like I am capable of living a happy and fulfilling life. I deserve love and respect. Or every experience brings me closer to my true self. These positive affirmations can have a powerful effect on your mood and self-image, especially if you repeat them regularly. Another way to encourage positive thinking is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for and focus on the positive aspects of your life. Gratitude helps shift the focus away from what is missing and toward what you already have. It can change your perspective and help you see the abundance in your life. Surrounding yourself with positive people who support and inspire you is also crucial. Interacting with such people can help you develop a more optimistic outlook and distance yourself from negative influences. At the end of this day, you should have a plan for how to regularly encourage positive thoughts to develop an optimistic and resilient mindset. By consciously changing your thought patterns, you strengthen your emotional well-being and create the foundation for a happy and fulfilling life. Day 19. The power of being alone. Day 19 is about discovering and appreciating the power of being alone. Being alone is often seen as something negative, especially after a breakup when it's easy to feel lonely. But being alone is not the same as loneliness. It can be a valuable opportunity to get to know yourself better, find inner peace and become more independent. The first step to harnessing the power of solitude is to view this time as an opportunity for self-reflection and personal development. Instead of fearing solitude, you can see it as a chance to reconnect with yourself. Ask yourself, what really makes me happy? What things have I neglected in the past that are important to me now? These questions can help you discover and cultivate your inner strength. Being alone also offers the opportunity to develop new hobbies or interests that bring you joy and fulfillment. You might discover a passion for writing, painting or cooking that you haven't explored before. These activities can help you focus on the positive while building your self-awareness and self-confidence. In addition, being alone is a time when you can learn to rely on yourself. Without the constant support of a partner, you develop the ability to make your own decisions, solve problems on your own and shape your life independently. This independence is an important step on the way to a fulfilling life and a healthy relationship with yourself. It is also an opportunity to find inner peace. In today's hectic world, it is rare to really have time for yourself. Use these moments of silence to meditate, reflect, or just enjoy the present. By embracing solitude, you will find that it can be a source of strength and inner peace. By the end of the 19th day, you should have developed a deeper understanding of the positive aspects of being alone. This insight will help you to appreciate your own company, focus on yourself, and find the inner strength you need to move forward in life. Day 20. Reflecting on old relationships. The 20th day focuses on reflecting on old relationships. This step is important to understand what worked well in the past and what didn't, in order to draw valuable lessons for the future. It's not about dwelling on the past, but rather consciously reflecting on it in order to develop yourself and make future relationships healthier. Start by thinking about your past relationships. What were the positive aspects of those relationships? What did you miss in those relationships? Think about what patterns repeated themselves. For example, recurring conflicts or communication problems. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to avoiding them in future relationships. Also reflect on the role you played in these relationships. Be honest with yourself. Are there behaviors or decisions you would make differently today? Perhaps you gave too much and got too little in return in the past. Or you neglected your own needs in favor of your partner. This reflection can be painful, but it is necessary to grow and have healthier relationships. Another important aspect of this reflection is forgiveness, both of yourself and of your ex-partner. Forgiveness does not mean that you approve of the other person's behavior, but that you are willing to let go of the resentment and look forward. Forgiveness frees you from the burden of the past and opens up space for new, positive experiences. Finally, it is helpful to derive concrete goals for future relationships from these reflections. What qualities are you looking for in a partner? What boundaries do you want to set to ensure that your needs are met? This clarity will help you to enter into relationships more consciously and confidently in the future. By the end of the 20th day, you should have developed a deeper understanding of your past relationships and the lessons you can learn from them. This reflection is an important step toward healthier and more fulfilling relationships in the future. By learning from the past, you lay the foundation for a happy and harmonious future. Day 21-25. Redesigning your life. Day 21. Building a new social network. On the 21st day, the focus is on building a new social network. After a breakup, friendships and social contacts may also be changed or reduced, especially if many mutual friends were involved. Now is the ideal time to actively work on building new relationships and friendships that bring you support and joy. Building a new social network starts with being open to meeting new people. This can be done by attending social events, classes or groups that match your interests. Think about what hobbies or activities you enjoy and look for opportunities to connect with like-minded people. These could be sports clubs, art classes, book clubs or volunteer work. Another important step is to maintain and deepen existing relationships. Perhaps there are friends or acquaintances with whom you have lost contact recently. Use the opportunity to revive these connections. A simple "how are you" or an offer to meet for a coffee can go a long way. It's also important to look at the quality of the relationships you build. Make sure the people you surround yourself with have a positive influence on you and are good for you. Healthy, supportive friendships are an important part of your well-being and contribute significantly to your happiness. By the end of this day, you should have a plan for how you will actively build new social connections and how you will maintain existing relationships. This new social network will not only help you feel less alone, but it will also meet your personal and social needs as you rebuild your life after the breakup. Day 22. Planning adventures and travel. Day 22 is all about planning adventures and travel, activities that will help you gain new perspectives and feel alive. After a breakup, you may feel stagnant and stuck, and it's important to bring something new and exciting into your life to overcome these feelings. Start by thinking about the places you've always wanted to visit. It doesn't have to be a long-distance trip. Even a weekend trip to a nearby city or a day trip into nature can make a big difference. Travel and adventure help you to break out of your usual environment and gain new impressions that refresh your mind and increase your well-being. When planning bigger trips, think about how you can make them happen logistically. Create a budget, research destinations and plan when you want to take the trip. The anticipation of a planned adventure can bring a lot of positive energy into your life and help you look forward to the future. Even small adventures in everyday life can be valuable. Think about what new activities or hobbies you could try that are exciting for you. Maybe you want to try a new sport, go to a concert, write a book, or take a cooking class. These small adventures help to make your life varied and exciting. At the end of the day, you should have concrete plans for an adventure or trip you want to take in the near future. These plans will not only bring you joy and excitement, but will also help you develop a sense that life is full of possibilities and new experiences waiting to be discovered. Day 23. Setting professional goals. On the 23rd day, you focus on setting professional goals and rethinking your career plans. After a breakup, you have the opportunity to redesign your professional life and get clear on what you really want to achieve in your career. Professional goals not only give you direction, but also a sense of purpose and fulfillment in your daily life. Start by taking stock of your current professional situation. Are you satisfied with your job? Are there aspects of your career that you would like to change? Do you want to stay in your current field or take a completely new direction? This reflection will help you to recognize where you are and where you want to go. Set specific, achievable goals, both short-term and long-term. A short-term goal might be to complete further training to expand your skills or apply for a new position. Long-term goals might be to get a promotion, move into a new field, or even start your own business. It's important that these goals are realistic and motivating. Also consider what steps are necessary to achieve these goals. Perhaps you need additional qualifications, networks, or resources to achieve your professional dreams. Create a concrete plan that will help you systematically pursue these steps. It's also worth thinking about your work-life balance. After a breakup, it can be tempting to throw yourself into work to find distraction, but it's important to maintain a balance between work and play. Professional fulfillment shouldn't come at the expense of your personal well-being. At the end of the day, you should have clear career goals and a plan for how to achieve them. These goals not only give you direction, but also the motivation to keep going and actively shape your professional life. By consciously taking control of your career, you strengthen your self-confidence and build a solid foundation for your future. Day 24. Meet new people. On the 24th day of the healing process, the focus is on getting to know new people and expanding your social circle. After a breakup, it can be helpful to make new social contacts in order to gain new perspectives and enrich your life with new, positive experiences. This process can help you to free yourself from old patterns and embark on the adventure of a new social beginning. Meeting new people often requires you to step out of your comfort zone. Putting yourself in new social situations can be challenging, especially when you're feeling unsure or vulnerable. But these moments are the chance to grow and create new, enriching connections. Think about places or activities that you might enjoy and be interested in. This could be sports clubs, book clubs, classes, workshops, or volunteer work. These opportunities not only give you the chance to meet like-minded people, but also to be in a positive and supportive environment. Another way to meet new people is to use online platforms and social networks that focus on common interests. There are many groups and communities where you can connect with other people who share similar hobbies or passions. These platforms can be a good starting point to make new social contacts in a non-binding and convenient way. It's important to remember that not every encounter has to lead to a deep friendship or relationship. It's about being open and curious and exploring the possibilities that come your way. Some encounters may remain superficial, while others can develop into valuable and lasting connections. At the end of the day, you should feel encouraged to actively meet new people and become more socially connected. These new contacts can help you feel supported and connected as you rebuild your life after the breakup. By expanding your social circle, you open yourself up to new possibilities and make room for positive changes in your life. Day 25. Finances and independence. On the 25th day, the focus is on your finances and strengthening your independence. After a breakup, it is often necessary to reassess your financial situation and ensure that you are able to maintain or restore your independence. Financial stability is a crucial factor in your sense of security and self-determination. Start by taking stock of your current financial situation. Analyze your income, expenses, and any debts you may have. If you previously lived in a shared household, you may need to make adjustments to ensure you can cover your ongoing costs on your own. Create a realistic budget that covers all necessary expenses while leaving room for savings and unforeseen expenses. Consider whether there are ways to increase your income. This could be through a raise, taking on a side job, or doing freelance work. If you have additional qualifications or skills that you haven't used before, now is the time to consider them to increase your financial independence. It's also important to set long-term financial goals. This could be building an emergency fund, saving for a major purchase, or planning for retirement. These goals will give you a sense of direction and help you stay motivated to continually improve your financial situation. Another important aspect is to consciously break away from financial dependencies that existed in the previous relationship. Independence does not only mean being financially stable, but also the ability to make independent decisions that meet your own needs and goals. If you feel unsure about financial matters, it might be helpful to consult a financial advisor who can help you plan and implement your goals. At the end of the day, you should have a clear plan on how to stabilize your finances and achieve long-term independence. This financial security will help you look to the future with more confidence and regain control of your life. Finances and independence are fundamental building blocks for a fulfilling and self-determined life, and taking care of these areas is a crucial step in your healing process. Day 26-30. Conclusion and New Beginning. Day 26. Cultivating Gratitude. On the 26th day, the focus is on cultivating gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool that can help you shift your perspective and focus on the positive aspects of your life. Even during difficult times, it helps you break free from negative thought patterns and instead recognize and appreciate the good in your life. Start by taking time each day to consciously reflect on the things you are grateful for. These can be small or big things. Perhaps a beautiful sunrise, a supportive conversation with a friend, or the fact that you are healthy. By highlighting these positive aspects, you shift your focus away from what you are missing and towards what you already have. Keeping a gratitude journal can be a particularly effective way to cultivate gratitude. Write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for each day. This simple practice can significantly boost your mood and help you develop a more positive outlook on life. It shows you that despite the challenges, there are always reasons to be grateful. Cultivating gratitude also means acknowledging the lessons you've learned from difficult experiences. Ask yourself, what did I learn from my past relationship? What positive changes did this experience bring to my life? This reflection will help you make peace with the past and appreciate the valuable lessons you learned from it. By the end of this day, you should have developed a greater awareness of the abundance and positive aspects of your life. Gratitude opens the heart and makes room for joy, even in the midst of challenges. It is a powerful tool to support your healing process and prepare you for a more positive and fulfilling future. Day 27. Forgiveness as a remedy. On the 27th day, you will focus on forgiveness, an essential step to finding emotional peace and completing the healing process. Forgiveness is often not easy, but it is a powerful healing tool that can free you from the burden of past hurts. It allows you to let go and make peace with the past. Forgiveness begins with choosing to let go of the resentment you hold against others or yourself. It doesn't mean condoning others' behavior or forgetting what happened, but rather being willing to let go of the negative feelings that weigh you down. Ask yourself, who or what am I still holding on to that is stopping me from moving forward? It could be your ex-partner who hurt you, or it could be self-blame that is plaguing you. A helpful exercise can be to write a letter expressing your feelings, what you experienced, how it affected you, and that you are ready to let go. You don't have to send this letter. Just writing it can have a cleansing effect and help you find inner peace. Sometimes it's hard to forgive because we feel like it's downplaying our hurt. But forgiveness is first and foremost a gift to yourself. It frees you from the power the past has over your life and gives you the freedom to focus on the future. At the end of the day, you should be one step closer to forgiveness. Whether it's by letting go of resentment toward others or forgiving mistakes you attribute to yourself. Forgiveness takes you a big step closer to inner peace and healing, and it opens the space for a new beginning in your life. Day 28. A closing ritual. The 28th day is about performing a closing ritual to symbolically say goodbye to the past relationship and make room for a new beginning. In many cultures, rituals have an important meaning when it comes to marking transitions and supporting emotional processes. Such a ritual can help you to consciously experience the completion of your healing process and make peace with the past. Start by coming up with a ritual that is meaningful to you personally. This could be burning a letter to release anything that binds you to the past relationship, or planting a tree to represent new growth and a fresh start. Choose a ritual that reflects your feelings and your journey through the healing process. You can also include items associated with the past relationship. You may want to leave mementos in a special place or throw them into the water to symbolically let them go. This act can help you feel like you are actively ending something while also starting something new. It is important to be mindful and present during the ritual. Take the time to feel your feelings and experience the moment consciously. Encourage yourself and remind yourself that you are strong enough to leave this phase of your life behind you and look forward. At the end of the ritual, you should feel like you have found conscious closure. This ritual marks the end of a difficult phase and the beginning of a new chapter in your life. It helps you to let go of emotional baggage and move into the future with a free and open heart. By performing this ritual, you complete the healing process and prepare yourself for the new beginning that lies ahead of you. Day 29. Rediscovering the love of life. The 29th day is about rediscovering the love of life. After a difficult breakup, it can be easy to lose the feeling of joy and enthusiasm. This day is about reconnecting with the fullness of life and finding joy in the small and big moments. The first step to rediscovering the love of life is to consciously focus on the things that bring you joy. These can be everyday pleasures, like a cup of coffee in the morning, the smile of a stranger, a walk in nature, or witnessing a beautiful sunset. It's about consciously noticing and appreciating these moments. They remind you that despite the challenges you've experienced, life is still full of wonder and joy. Another important aspect is to allow yourself to have new experiences and seek out adventures that make your heart sing again. This could be traveling, new hobbies, or just trying out new activities that you have always wanted to do. These new experiences will help you to see life as an exciting and fulfilling journey again. It's also helpful to let go of negative thoughts and old patterns that are holding you back from enjoying life to the fullest. Ask yourself, what is stopping me from getting back into life? Are there any fears or doubts that are holding me back? By answering these questions honestly and consciously working to overcome these obstacles, you opened yourself up to new possibilities and to the joy that life can offer you. At the end of this day, you should feel more connected to life again and ready to explore the world with open eyes and an open heart. Finding love for life again means appreciating yourself and the world around you, with all its ups and downs. It is a crucial step on the path to a happy, fulfilling life. Day 30. Outlook for the future. The 30th and final day of the healing process is about looking ahead. You have learned a lot about yourself in the last 30 days, dealt with your emotions, healed old wounds, and developed new perspectives. Now it is time to look forward and focus on what lies ahead. Looking to the future begins with creating clear and positive visions for your future life. Think about what goals you want to set for yourself in the coming months and years. These goals should be in your personal life as well as in your professional environment. What dreams do you want to pursue? What changes do you want to make in your life? This day is for making your goals more concrete and developing a plan for how you can achieve them. An important part of looking to the future is having confidence in yourself. You have proven over the past 30 days that you have the strength and ability to overcome challenges and reinvent yourself. This confidence will help you to move boldly into the future and seize new opportunities. It is also important to realize that the path to healing and self-development is an ongoing process. You now have the tools and knowledge to continue working on yourself and shaping your life the way you want. Be open to change and ready to take new paths that bring you closer to your goals. As you conclude this day and the 30-day journey, take a moment to be proud of yourself. You have overcome a difficult phase and come out of it stronger. Looking to the future should fill you with confidence and joy, because you have regained control of your life and are ready to start the next chapter with an open heart and a clear mind. This day not only marks the end of your healing process, but also the beginning of a new, exciting chapter in your life. Attachments. Exercises and reflection questions for every day. Day 1. Accept your feelings. Exercise. Write a diary about how you feel today. Describe your emotions without judging. Reflection questions. What emotions do I feel most strongly? What could be the reason for these feelings? Day 2. The emotional emergency plan. Exercise. Make a list of 5 activities that help you calm down during emotionally difficult moments. Reflection questions. What activities help me calm down? How can I integrate them into my daily routine? Day 3. Avoid self-blame. Exercise. Write yourself a letter appreciating your efforts in the past relationship. Reflection questions. In which moments do I tend to blame myself? How can I stop these thoughts? Day 4. Developing an understanding of the situation. Exercise. List the positive and negative aspects of your past relationship. Reflect on what you learned from it. Reflection questions. What have I learned from this relationship? What patterns do I want to avoid in the future? Day 5. First steps toward self-care. Exercise. Plan an activity just for you that brings you joy and helps you relax. Reflection questions. How well am I currently taking care of myself? What can I do to support myself even better? Day 6-10. Letting go and creating space. Day 6. Reduce contact. Exercise. Set clear boundaries for contact with your ex-partner and write them down. Reflection questions. How do I feel when I have no contact with my ex-partner? What do I gain from this distance? Day 7. Letting go of memories. Exercise. Sort out mementos from the relationship and decide what you want to do with them. Reflection questions. What feelings arise when I let go of memories? How can I process these feelings? Day 8. Creating space for yourself. Exercise. Redesign an area in your home that is just for you. Reflection questions. How do I feel in my personal space? Which elements of this space are particularly good for me? Day 9. Social media detox. Exercise. Set a period of time when you avoid social media and document how you feel. Reflection questions. How does social media influence my emotions? What can I do to reduce their influence? Day 10. Establish new routines. Exercise. Develop a new daily routine that helps you start your day positively. Reflection questions. What new routines have improved my life? How can I maintain them long term? Day 11-15. Focus on your own well-being. Day 11. Practice mindfulness. Exercise. Practice mindfulness for 10 minutes by focusing on your breathing or a specific sensory impression. Reflection questions. How does my body feel when I am mindful? What often distracts me from mindfulness? Day 12. Strengthening physical health. Exercise. Set a goal for physical activity, such as 30 minutes of walking or yoga. Questions for reflection. How does physical exercise affect my well-being? Which activities are particularly good for me? Day 13. Finding creative expressions. Exercise. Choose a creative activity, for example, painting, writing, and spend 30 minutes on it. Reflection questions. What do I feel when I express myself creatively? How does creativity help me process my emotions? Day 14. Seek support. Exercise. Contact a friend to talk about your feelings or just spend time together. Reflection questions. How do I feel after sharing with others? What kind of support do I need most? Day 15. Reviving a hobby. Exercise. Take up a hobby you used to love and spend at least an hour doing it. Reflection questions. How has this hobby affected my mood? What old hobbies could I revive? Day 16-20. Reorientation and self-discovery. Day 16. What do I really want? Exercise. Write a list of your wishes and goals for the near future, both personal and professional. Reflection questions. What is really important to me in life? What steps can I take to get closer to my goals? Day 17. Developing visions of the future. Exercise. Create a vision board with pictures and words that represent your dreams and goals for the future. Reflection questions. How do I see my future? What feelings does this vision trigger in me? Day 18. Promote positive thoughts. Exercise. Every day, write down 3 positive thoughts or affirmations that strengthen you. Reflection questions. What negative thoughts come up frequently? How can I replace them with positive ones? Day 19. The power of being alone. Exercise. Consciously spend time alone. For example, taking a walk or reading a book, and enjoy the silence. Reflection questions. How do I feel when I am alone? What are the advantages of being alone for me? Day 20. Reflecting on old relationships. Exercise. Write about your past relationships, what you have learned and how you want to develop further. Reflection questions. What have my past relationships shown me about myself? What patterns do I want to avoid in the future? Day 21-25. Redesigning your life. Day 21. Building a new social network. Exercise. Join a new social activity or sign up for a group or class. Reflection questions. What new social contacts have I made? How do they enrich my life? Day 22. Planning adventures and travel. Exercise. Plan a day trip or a short trip to a place you've always wanted to visit. Reflection questions. How does planning an adventure feel for me? What new experiences do I want to have? Day 23. Setting professional goals. Exercise. Set a career goal for the next year and create a plan to achieve it. Questions for reflection. What career changes am I aiming for? What motivates me most in my job? Day 24. Meet new people. Exercise. Set a goal to meet and have a conversation with at least one new person this week. Reflection questions. How do I feel when I meet new people? What have I learned from the new contacts? Day 25. Finances and independence. Exercise. Review your finances. Create a budget and set financial goals for the future. Reflection questions. How do I feel about my financial situation? What steps can I take to increase my financial independence? Day 26-30. Conclusion and new beginning. Day 26. Cultivating gratitude. Exercise. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. Reflection questions. How does gratitude change my perspective? What positive aspects of my life have I overlooked? Day 27. Forgiveness as a remedy. Exercise. Write a letter forgiving someone, or yourself. You don't have to send the letter. Reflection questions. What stops me from forgiving? How could forgiveness change my life? Day 28. A closing ritual. Exercise. Perform a personal ritual to symbolically say goodbye to the past relationship. Reflection questions. How do I feel after the closing ritual? What does this ritual mean for my healing process? Day 29. Rediscovering the love of life. Exercise. Make a list of things that bring you joy and consciously integrate them into your everyday life. Reflection questions. What activities or moments make me smile? How can I cultivate more joy in my life? Day 30. Outlook for the future. Exercise. Write a letter to your future self outlining your wishes, goals and hopes for the coming years. Reflection questions. How do I see my future? What steps will I take to achieve my dreams? What have I learned from the last 30 days that can help me achieve my goals? Summary of the 30 days. This 30-day journey was an intense phase of healing, reflection and reorientation. You learned how to deal with the pain, understand yourself better and focus on your future. Every day offered you the opportunity to take another step towards a fulfilled and self-determined life. The exercises and reflection questions helped you process your emotions, heal old wounds and focus on the positive in your life. You developed new routines, recognized your physical and emotional needs and focused on your own goals. At the end of these 30 days, you will no longer be the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. You will have evolved, gained strength and confidence, and will be ready to approach the next chapter of your life with clarity and confidence. Use the insights and tools you have gained in these 30 days to continue moving forward on your path of self-discovery and self-realization. Remember that healing is an ongoing process. Even when these 30 days are over, it remains important to integrate the lessons learned and new habits into your daily life. Allow yourself to continue to grow, learn and celebrate the love of life in all its facets. You have laid the foundation for a happy and fulfilling life. Now it is up to you to build on it and achieve your dreams. Rights and ownership notice. This audiobook is published and distributed by Testbericht-Institut LLC. All copyrights, publishing rights, distribution rights, audio rights, and related intellectual property rights for this work have been lawfully and exclusively acquired by Testbericht-Institut LLC. Testbericht-Institut LLC is the sole and unrestricted rights holder of this audiobook, including the right to reproduce, distribute, publish, monetize, and publicly perform the content on digital platforms such as YouTube. The original manuscript files, source documents, and contractual acquisition records serve as proof of lawful ownership. The original author and/or their authorized representative, Renovatio LLC, has transferred all relevant rights to Testbericht-Institut LLC in accordance with applicable copyright and publishing law. This ownership applies to all current and future uses of this work, including audio, video, and digital publications. Effective date of rights ownership: the 1st of February 2026. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, re-upload, redistribution, or claiming of this content is strictly prohibited. Copyright Testbericht-Institut LLC. All rights reserved.